Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be reviewing the new Ram Rebel HD. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Doug Smith Ram here in American Fork for giving me some time with this truck. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Under the hood is the new high output Cummins, a 6.7 liter turbo diesel inline 6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic. It puts out 430 horsepower and 1,075 pound-feet of torque. Now before I move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So we got cab lights there up top. You can see the 2500 heavy duty badge there. We've got the hood scoop there in the center, just for form, not function. Anyways, you got the new split light design. You can see the grille's all blacked out with the Ram logo front and center. And then we've got fog lights here. We also have recovery points and parking sensors. An interesting coloration for the whole front end, but makes it look unique, that's for sure. 285 by 60 by 20 is the tire and wheel setup. So larger wheels, but these tires are actually pretty darn aggressive. And then we do have Bilstein shocks with this. And you can see the ride height a little bit taller with the Rebel package. You got that big chunky fender flare, your Cummins turbo diesel badge, Ram logo. You've got the trailer tow mirrors, and then this is built off the 2500, so you do have coil suspension there in the back. Here's your side profile with the Rebel. Now this leads us to the key fob. We've got our lock and unlock function, tailgate drop down, remote start. We've got the Ram logo there on the back. Press that a couple times. And bada bing, bada boom, we've got a bed. So you've got protection here on the tailgate itself. We've got LED lights. We've got an outlet here in the bed as well. 6'4" box for those of you wondering the size. Now here's a quick look at the tail lights, and then you guys can see all the badges here on the back. And then we've got little parking sensors. Towing capacity on this is actually going to be limited by the payload. I'll show you guys the payload in a moment. We'll kind of talk about that. Now this leads us inside where you can see we've got nice soft touch trim and stitching there on the top of the door panel and down below as well. And then we've got pretty fancy seats with this, perforated all down the center portion. Ice buckets here in the back. Also have the behind the seat storage. And then heated seats for the rear passengers, USB ports and outlet. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if we can zoom in there. It's kind of popping up on camera. Not very well. But yeah, it still uses the previous gen crew cab for those of you wondering. And popping up front, again, we've got all of the nice stitching and soft touch here with the front door panel. All of our window controls, front two are automatic. The mirrors do power fold in. They also power extend out, and you can adjust the convex mirror with the button. We've got memory seats here, blind spot monitoring with the mirror as well. And then payload is 1826. So in a 3500, this powertrain can tow with a single rear wheel like 24,000 pounds, but with this you're going to be limited by the payload because again the 10% conversion from the trailer weight to the tongue weight. So like, yeah. Anyways, we've got the seats here up front, perforated all down the center, and then you can see with the power adjustments on the side, pedal adjustment there, and then we've got our light controls. And let's start her up. Ooh. Ram logo there on the steering wheel. We've got controls for the center stack, adaptive cruise control with this. We've got our gear limiter as well. Nice perforated trim on the exterior of the steering wheel and then down below as well. And then we've got little turn signal windshield wiper stalk, and then we have the new electronic column shifter, and it's got nice stitching on it. And speaking of nice stitching, look at the dash all across, pretty fancy. So we've got this nice digital gauge cluster in the center, and we can use this to change kind of how it's displayed, whether it's analog or digital, and you can display pretty much any information you want to see. It's like any other modern cluster. This one just has the backup camera and then the bed cam with it, and then we've got the new infotainment system. So it still has the climate controls and radio controls on the exterior of the system, and it still has a little shortcut bar here at the bottom, so there's a lot of carryover, and it takes a second for some of the stuff to load up. But heated and ventilated seats, you can see that's all built in, heated steering wheel as well. Diesel exhaust brake is now built into the screen here at the bottom. Your trailer tow mode, your parking sensors, and trailer brake controls, all of that's kind of built into this unit in a way, but there's still some physical controls built into. We've got our two-wheel drive 2-speed transfer case. We also have an axle lock and hill descent control with this as well. Bunch of USB ports, and then so you've got phone charging pads. And the center console is pretty cool how it slides backwards and forwards. Rebel there on top, which is nice. And good storage here. I really do like this trim. We've got the passenger screen there on the side, and then you can see rear view mirror, and then the window on the back is power button for it's right there, and then no center for this. Now this leads us to the window sticker for this. Base MSRP 68,645, but stuff like the engine adds quite a bit. 12,595 for the engine alone. But anyways, 89,730 is the total MSRP on this Rebel and diesel. And well, let's see how it performs. And Rebel. Oh. Gotta love the sound of the Cummins. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Man, I had to switch backpacks because my old backpack had a gaping hole in it, sadly. But this new backpack just falls over all the time. My old backpack was so worn. Parking sensors. My old backpack was so worn that it would just kind of like squish down like a sad thing. But it worked out great because it didn't tip over. This one is nice and new and upright and everything, and so it just falls over all the time. You know, it's kind of like when you have to get a new pair of shoes. There's that break-in period that's not fun. And it's kind of like a car too, because there's that break-in period that's not that fun. You can't really like get into it as much as you'd like to. This thing feels like a beast. Now, I will say, Ram's choice with the Rebel is interesting because they do something that, well, I mean, GMC actually kind of does this now. Like, they've made this into kind of like a luxury off-roader with this, how this is packaged out. Whereas, well, I mean, I guess, yeah, you can get with Ford too. And I think the thing that confuses people about the Rebel package is when they look at the Rebel, they go, man, why does this cost so much? And it's like, well, yes, it does technically compete against a Tremor and a Trail Boss and, you know, AT4, but you can get the Rebel where it's closer to like a Trail Boss, or you can get the Rebel where it's closer to like an AT4 or like a Platinum Tremor, for example. So it just depends on how you option it out. And so I think that kind of confuses people with it, with the pricing and all of that. And then also the fact that you can't get this in a 3500, you can only get it in a 2500. The thing that's nice about the 2500 is the fact that it's coil sprung front and rear. It does drive nice for an HG truck. And especially considering the fact that it's got solid axles front and rear. Now, I'm just going to try to create a little bit of space here, so, but I also got to kind of keep up. Power of this Cummins, you know, it's nice how they've set the whole thing up. Can I please get over so that I'm not, thank you. I don't want to be the guy that zooms by the highway patrol and then an adjacent lane. So continuing along with our little adventure here. This is nice. It's got a pretty comfortable, and on the highway it's actually pretty darn comfortable. Like, this would be a good road trip vehicle. And you can't say the same about like a 3500 or, you know, just mostly the leaf sprung trucks, because the back end will kind of bounce all the place. This stays nice and planted, so it just leads to a lot more comfort. Interior is really nice. The seats are comfortable too. And yeah, when you put it all together, this just feels like a well-built, luxurious truck, and it's also got the off-road stuff. And I actually took the previous version of this up West Mountain. It was a little bit scary because when you have a truck that weighs like 7,500 pounds, roughly 7,000, it's a heavy truck, and you've got tires that aren't necessarily the biggest. It shifted quite a bit on the loose rock on that mountain. But you know, we got up really far. Just a little bit nerve-wracking. But yeah, I was actually pretty impressed. And the thing that was great was the torque. Like, this has so much low end torque that when you climb up a 30-degree incline, no struggle. No struggle. Yeah, this new high output. The 8-speed, smooth, it's powerful. Yeah, this is what you want. This is what you want. So, let me know what you guys think about the Rebel package here, but I think this is a pretty cool setup.